Italy, a country known for its immaculate food and wine, ancient history and art, and immeasurable scenic beauty. As a third-generation Italian-American, I can't help but find a spark of connection while drinking in the culture of Italy's historic cities and towns. Walking down thousand-year-old streets definitely puts things in perspective. It makes me think about the privilege I have to go on a trip like this, how fortunate I am to have a father who wants to share his connection to this country with me, and what I should get him for his birthday. Oh, What do you get your father for his birthday? It's a question as old as time. What do you get a guy who's got a good job and money to get himself the things he wants? I mean, he took me to Italy. How can I even think of approaching that kind of energy? So what do? You get clever. You make it work Tim Gunn style. And you create something more meaningful than something you could have bought. My parents recently celebrated their 40th anniversary, and what they wanted was to take one more trip like we used to when all the kids were young. A trip where all of us are there, all three of their kids, our partners, and our first grandchild, who happens to be my child. It also happens to be my dad's birthday a few days after the trip. He wants to bring us all to Italy, where we can connect with our heritage and each other. Italy is his favorite place in the world. So this year for his birthday, I want to try and show him his favorite place, capture it through my perspective as something that he can enjoy forever, so long as YouTube remains profitable to our Skynet overlords of the future. I want this to be a love letter and a quick portal to one of his favorite places. And going through all this footage, I can't help but reflect on my first year as a father and the lessons I've learned from him that I hope have been molding me into the type of father I want to be. I've been beyond lucky and privileged to have such a supportive father in my life. For that, all I can say is thank you. Happy birthday, Dad. I hope you enjoy this love letter to Italy and the lessons in fatherhood that you've been silently teaching me since I was born. And since Italy is my father's favorite place, I want to share this with you. I want to share his passion. And I want this video to be dedicated not only to him, but to any other father, anybody who fills the similar role as a father. I think fatherhood is something that is a very flexible definition. So if you fall under any type of role as father to anything, this video is for you. If you could use a father, this video is for you as well. I hope you can kind of feel some of that fatherly warmth in this video through the relationship that I have with my dad that I'm very, very lucky to have. So thank you again, Dad. Happy birthday, and let's dive into this. Legend has it that Rome was established by the twin brothers Romulus and Remus, who were famously raised by Wolfmother, an Australian rock band, around 750 BC. A city of trade, theft, conquest, simping for the Greeks, and debate purgatory, the influence of the Roman Empire knows no bounds. An ancient city where remnants of art and architecture lie dormant, taking a well-deserved reprieve from the history of bloodshed and slavery required to make that art and architecture happen. Among the ruins of the Colosseum and the Forum, I'm reminded of the type of thinker my father raised me to be. One of the most important skills in life is the ability to think independently and critically, to take the empirical evidence and turn it into an original thought or opinion through the process of logic. Stay flexible enough to listen, learn, and adapt. Try your best to find the best course of action while knowing that there will always be unknowable elements of life. Problems may be hard, but with the right mindset, they can be solved. Always absorb the full context of what you engage with. Walk through the ruins of the past, learn and know that many of the wonders of this world are built off the inequality that can exist when we aren't leading with humanity. The Colosseum is an architectural wonder, but it was built off the backs of slaves and was a theater for bloodshed, punishment, and indulging in the worst side of humanity. Life requires seeing beyond the surface layer. I thank my father for giving me that sight. To properly convey the significance that Siena has to me and my family, I feel like I first must tell you the story of Duomo Man. The first time my father took me to Italy, it was with my wife and her parents. We had to get a 9-person van to fit everybody. The ancient streets of Siena were clearly built to resist the siege of 9-passenger vans, the widest car in Italy's early history. While a native Italian may be able to deftly navigate these streets without spilling a drop of espresso, my father handled them with the blind confidence of an American who definitely knows where they're going right now and hasn't manually shifted the gears of his car since the late 70s. He somehow expertly navigated the behemoth down a fine pedestrian thoroughfare where locals can't even legally drive their thimble-sized Fiats. That's when I learned that 2 reverse peace signs is not a symbol for "have a fine day, paisano." My father navigates his way in reverse out of these beautiful ancient back streets and finds the nearest available space to park. And with this new parking spot, his transformation was complete, for he parked next to Siena's largest Duomo, in a self-made parking spot fit for a pope. And from that day on, Duomo Man, or Duomo Uomo for my true believers, potential Italian petty criminal, was born. In addition to being the birthplace of Duomo Man's origin story, it's also the home of my father's favorite Italian sporting event, Il Palio di Siena. Apologies for my pronunciation. The Palio is a horse race that happens twice a year in Siena's famously scenic Piazza del Campo. A furiously fast race that only lasts about 90 seconds as horses and their jockeys race 3 laps to bring glory to their respected contrade or city district, as Siena has 17 that compete for the win. These races can get very intense with jockeys whipping each other and the horses, and there does not need to be a jockey on the horse for it to win. If your horse wins, your contrada receives the glory of victory and a cow. My favorite of the Contrada di Siena is Selva. Scorritos! The forest contrada runs west of the Piazza del Campo and has a history of being home to incredibly skilled archers during the Middle Ages. Now, the Palio is not quite my thing. The treatment of the horses can be a little rough, and that's not really my style. I'm happy to get my medieval sports fix from the good old Calcio Storico, but my father's love and passion for the Palio is palpable. He physically cannot resist the dad-like urge to tell you one of the James Bond movies has a scene in it that takes place during the Palio. He fully immerses himself in the things he loves, and watching him do so has taught me a lot about loving what you love and not being afraid to share it with the world. I think I feared that a lot for a while. I'm a 32-year-old man who has a lot of interests that people would tell me are childish or something like that, right? I've got action figures back there, I've got an arcade machine, things like that. But these things bring me joy, and I'm a father now. I want my daughter to see me enjoying things that I enjoy in life with no shame. I want her to be able to enjoy the things she enjoys without anyone in society telling her what she's supposed to like, what she's supposed to be like, right? That's not for anybody to decide. Lots of comments on videos say I'm a loser or creep for having a wall of action figures and collectibles behind me. But these things bring me joy when I look at them. They spark my creativity, remind me of all sorts of things that make me happy. Like, look at this little Metal Slug area. I used to play this game with my older brother all the time. Looking at this area reminds me of the bond we created by enjoying something together. All this to say, love what you love to the point that you can't help but whip out some dad facts about that thing. This quiet, quaint Tuscan town happens to be the home to my father's favorite leather shop, Bottega Artigiana del Cuoio. Small one-man operation, the shop owner creates all his items custom and on the spot. They're all unique pieces of art, and the love of the craft is felt in every item. I can see my father's love of art and handiwork intertwine here. A craftsman takes something that can be seen as ordinary, leather, and with a steady hand guided by years of hard work, love, and passion, creates an item imbued with meaning and thought. My wife bought me a notebook from here years ago, and it became the notebook I wrote my vows in. There's something so substantial about imbuing something simple and ordinary with meaning beyond words. My father passed down to me an appreciation for art and the framework to see art in everything around me. My father's connection to art is probably the biggest thing I've taken away from him. It's what got me into music and really encouraged me when I was exploring creative things that I was finding more enjoyable than maybe sports-based activities. This little town reminds me of the inner peace that can kind of come with creation sometimes. There can sometimes be a bit of a drama or a turmoil with it as well. Putting your whole focus into something like creating a design on a piece of leather, or even just measuring it perfectly, it can tap into something, I don't know, maybe primal within us that really, I don't know, brings out something that connects for me. I love creation. I love creating things in every form. That's why I like making videos. That's why I like making the music for them. That's why I like going to places like Italy and filming and just seeing what I can create from those raw materials. My love of creation is probably the biggest, most significant thing to my personality, period. And I really think that I owe my father a great thank you for that. So, Dad, I just want to say thank you for bringing me and my family to Italy and just showing me how beautiful of a place this is. I would be able to go on my own, at least not where I am in life right now. So I'm eternally thankful for that. And I can't imagine how special it is to share a place like this with people you love. So I hope maybe there's some sort of understanding of how special it is to me in the way I filmed it and presented it here for you. I have more footage, and obviously you can see that whenever you want. But happy birthday, Dad. I hope this is something maybe different and kind of cool. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. This one's just for you. So thanks again for everything.